Alright, we are finally ready to pipe in the holding tank, the original holding tank. After, let's see, 3 trips to West Marine and 2 trips to Home Depot and 1 trip to a cool hardware store I found down in El Segundo, we are finally ready. I have all of these fittings here, and it looks like it might take all of them. Unfortunately, they gave me this, which is hose thread instead of pipe thread, so I couldn't fit the PVC on there. This is for the carbon filter for the holding tank vent, so that it doesn't release all the odors. Since our holding tank is right behind here, and our cockpit is right here, the vent's going to come out right on the other side of the cockpit. So we don't want all that stink kind of going through there. So this is the holding tank vent filter. Got some charcoal, activated charcoal in there, I think, and just kind of cleans up the smell. So I had to figure out how to put this in this engine room on this wall somewhere where you can see it's kind of big for the space that it has. So I'm trying to make it as efficient as possible. So I think I'm gonna pipe over with PVC to here, and then 90 up into the filter. Hopefully the filter will fit just right here. Then I can run my 5/8 tubing from there up into this little cavity right there, which actually just pops out on the other side of the cockpit. So we got the little holding tank vent filter, and then that will go into this with the tubing, and this will stick on the outside, and it's face down so no water will splash into, will rain into it. I guess it could splash, but very unlikely to get much water in there. So I think that's a good design. This is actually a gas tank vent, but it should work for the holding tank too. This is just a vent, so I'm not too worried about the metal or anything else like that corroding, just for fumes. So, yep, we'll get to it.
Connor has been venting about his venting problems. What kind of venting problems do you have?
I didn't get my venti mocha latte today.
What's all this?
I already gave him a quick run through, but
Oh,
yeah, basically I had to drive all around town just to get this. A piece to adapt here because this is too long and I'm trying to keep it compact and make a 90 at the same time. So if I were to use this piece, which goes to just straight hose, it would already be too long, and then I'm looking at another few inches there, and every little half-inch counts in this scenario. So luckily I found the best hardware store in the whole what do we call this area, Los Angeles. Yeah, South Bay Hardware, I believe it's called.
Rare sighting. Connor is reading.
I don't even have good pictures in here.
Don't they have words?
I don't read, babe.
He likes pictures, but I'm so proud.
There's a picture on the front, I can see that one.
Good enough. I know how to do it now.
Found the pictures. Now I can figure it out.
Alright, Connor is in so much trouble. Look at this. I cannot believe it.
He's been trying to keep this boat clean, and I'm just going around drilling holes in it.
Hole. Another hole in the boat?
Basically, I just drew out the outline of this. Make sure it's all gonna fit. Make sure that car still passes on the track. Looks like we're all good. The problem is this is really hard to find the exact center from here, you gotta try and stick a pencil down the center of that or something like that. So I found this hole saw that's pretty much the exact same, so I can space that out kind of exactly around the outline, just inside of the outline, and that's a lot more evenly or easy to eyeball the gap in between that, and then you can also see the center of here pretty easily too, so I can just draw a circle around the center of the hole saw, which is going to be the exact center. And now I have a smaller circle to aim for and find the exact center of that circle. Now I'm going to drill my pilot hole and cross our fingers, and hopefully everything turns out right. We'll go check on the inside after I'm done with the pilot hole. If everything looks good down there, then we will continue on with the 2 1/8 hole. I mic'd this out. It's about 2 1/16, and so I'm going to drill it out with a 2 1/8 hole saw so that we have enough room to maybe put a little epoxy around the side and let that cure. Obviously we don't want to epoxy this in, or even just leave a little bit of gap for the 4200 that's going to go in there. Actually, I think we're going to use the 4000 on this one. It's more better for the UV rated stuff. Here goes nothing.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. Do we have a wood deck? Or is it just all glass like the hull? That went through pretty quick. You can see a little bit of wood in there. We're not through all the way. Mostly glass with a little bit of wood. Now we'll go check the inside. Cross our fingers. If it didn't turn out well, that's a small patch. But if we cut the big hole and have to patch that, that's a big deal.
Did you find it?
I found it. It's right here, which is good. It's not as good as I was hoping. I was hoping it'd be a little bit further away, or further towards the outside of the hole here, so that I could keep the hose away from the autopilot. But I think I picked a good enough spot where that wheel's not going to touch the hose at all. If it does, I think we have enough flexibility in the hose to where we can strap it away from it somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah, looking good. So just finished drilling out that hole. Basically took a core sample of our boat. I don't know about too many other boats, but this looks like a pretty damn thick deck to me. What do you think?
It looks way too small for me. It needs to be bigger.
We got probably 8 layers of glass on top and 5 on the bottom, something like that. And thick glass too. It looks like a good hamburger. There's the hole. I'm gonna end up putting a little layer of epoxy around the inside there, so worst comes to worst, anything ever gets in there, we're still sealed against the wood there. And we'll pop that thing in there tomorrow after the epoxy cures. So I just taped it off down below, and then mixed up some just barely thickened epoxy, the West Systems, with the colloidal silica. Just kind of painted that around in there, so that'll keep everything from seeping into the wood should any water get past all the sealant that's going to be around this thing. So I think that should be an extra safe little step, worth the while. So now while we're at it, we're going to drill a hole for the vent also, because I don't know exactly if that's going to be wood cored also. It probably is. Drill that hole and then get to fill that with some epoxy also. Here's our waste inlet outlet right there. We're just going to drill the hole. I measured from the inside. There's a little cavity right here. So I'm going to drill through that. And this one takes a 5/8 bit. Hopefully that's enough to still put a little layer of epoxy. I don't think that's going to take up too much extra room. And I'm going to use the Forstner bit because that's the only bit that I have that's 5/8. So with the Forstner bit, I found that the best way to do it is to drill a pilot hole first. I kind of always just drilled them through, but it struggles a lot doing that. So if you drill the pilot hole, then it kind of gets past that point a little bit. You don't want to drill the pilot hole too big because you want that point to still stay centered. Drill the pilot hole makes it a lot easier. Second hole in the boat one day, this is crazy. Alright, let's hope we didn't hit anything important in there. Alright, so the Forstner bit was actually a little bit too small. So luckily I had this little step bit that maxes out at 3/4, so that allowed me to kind of bore that out cleanly. And that's actually, I don't know what the hell's going on with measurements nowadays, but that's actually a little bit too big. But I will, I guess, throw a little bit of epoxy in there. I don't see any wood in here actually, which is kind of surprising because you would think that's how they built the whole thing right here, is with kind of wood and then fiberglass over it. But I guess they just molded this part too, so kind of cool. So since I don't have any brushes or anything that'll fit in that little tiny hole, I'm just gonna use a little Q-tip. Just dab it in there. Hopefully keep it nice and clean and not get all over the paint job. But Malwina really likes painting anyways, so it's okay. Just kidding. Yeah, that's doing great. Just want a little bit in there, fill that gap a little bit. And I don't know, I doubt any water can really get in between those layers of fiberglass since this one's all glass, but in the off chance that it does, why not? We already got it mixed up. Alright, that'll do. Only used one Q-tip. So I was just about to start running the pipe, and you can see we have this perfect like 2-inch hole right here that would fit our pipe perfect, but the PEX and the little wires running through there. So now I have to undo that because I don't want to drill a whole nother hole through this. You know, this is semi-structural stuff. Just to leave that there, that would just be lazy, I think. So I'm gonna drill a tiny hole up here for the PEX to run through and the wire, and then I'll use that 2-inch hole. But that was just another example of how things go. Kind of figure out how we're gonna do the little diverter valve in here, and it's not looking great. I guess I should have thought this through a little bit more. I don't know what I would have done if I thought it through more. It's just a difficult situation, but here we go. So here is our head, and this needs to go down here somewhere so that we can switch it from going direct overboard or into the tank, or else we just go straight into the tank. That's the other option, and then we just can pump out overboard. But you know, if we're just at sea for a while, then maybe we want to just direct overboard and not be going through the macerator pump and all of that. So these bends are a little bit tough here. I'm pretty sure this might actually just be the hole also, so I can't really mount this there. Even if I did mount that there, that's a really tough bend for this hose from the toilet to come into. So I don't think that's gonna work. It's kind of what I was thinking initially, but now upon further review, I don't think that's gonna work. So we'll see what we come up with. I don't know. Okay, so I made an executive decision and I cut that hole. And we're just gonna go straight to the tank, and we're not gonna have a direct overboard. We'll just have to use the macerator pump. The forward head is gonna have kind of a above the waterline tank, so we'll be able to just kind of flush that almost direct overboard with no pump. We'll just have a valve at the bottom of the tank so it'll come out whenever we need to empty it. That should be the one that we can use kind of most frequently anyways, because we're not going to want to poop while the other person's sleeping in there. Alright, there's the macerator pump. You can hardly see it behind all this tangled mess of wires. That was not me. That was the previous owner or before him. But you can barely see the macerator pump fit down there. And then it runs up here into our little anti-siphon vented loop there. We were going to do a little splitter down here, but we ended up deciding against that, and I'm just going to run this straight into the tank. We're going to go direct overboard with the macerator pump.
All right, boss, how's it going?
It's going. So I am just finally doing the PVC stuff, which is a little bit kind of scary, right? Because once you glue it, it's glued, and then I'd have to chop it out because this is in the way, so I won't be able to spin that out. But the PVC is going to allow me to do that, so that's all Teflon taped and screwed in there, and then I just primed these with the little purple primer there, which I almost never do, but this is a extra case here. So I'm gonna do the purple primer, the red hot blue glue, sink those in there. That'll go like that, that'll be like that. That's kind of the 1.5 inch hose fitting right there, and then that hose will go right there. But we got the vent filter all set up and in there good. Still need to do the vent up here, but I got that hole drilled and the hose kind of routed up there. It doesn't look that bad. I was hoping it'd be a lot cleaner, but there's just too much going on in here, and this was the only way I could route it. This is the fill tube. That's all hooked up on this side. We're still waiting on the part to be able to hook it up to the toilet. That's going to be like a week and a half out. Only way to get it was to order it. Yeah, got this little thing mounted just with one screw right now, so I have a little bit of flexibility with this connection here. But yeah, that'll divert it either from, this will come from the fill tube or the dip tube and then out to the deck or out the macerator pump that way.
Nice.
That's it.
Good job, Abe.
Coming along, but it's getting more and more crowded in here all the time. So it gets smaller and smaller every day.
When I back out, it's like, whoa, look at all this. Oh my god. A lot of stuff going on. He's doing great. I think he's starting to get faster at doing projects than I am at editing them.
Dummy.
He's committing.
I'm committing, but I'm committing wrong already.
Uh-oh.
Ah, this glue dries out so fast. The good thing is I have done this before, and if the glue dries up on you, you just put another bit of glue on there. That'll soften it up again. So I want this fitting on there first because that's the critical one. Oop. I just dropped some on the new batteries. And then I'll do this one because I need to get this as close to that angle as possible, so I didn't want to glue this one in and kind of get a false read on how close I can get. So do this one real quick now. And let's just hope that the red hot blue glue does say that it's for sewage systems. I know boat sewage is a little bit more kind of delicate.
Fingers crossed.
Make sure that's in there real nice and tight, and this stuff dries up pretty quick, so should be good to go soon.
Connor, you can't just be in this room with this glue.
Just having glue. This is the good stuff, actually.
He's starting to talk really weird. I'm getting a little nervous.
Getting a little giggly over here. Freaking drill go. I'm losing stuff.
Uh-oh.
Losing my mind over here. Oh yeah. That's nice.
Nicely done.
I'm kind of lazy, so I just use my impact for this.
Look at this.
It wasn't me.
The world's messiest person? I'm pretty sure.
Most creative person.
And you keep going and it like doesn't stop. Like everything has just been tossed around. Really?
Redecorating.
Redecorated is what he says.
You like my plumbing section?
Busted.
Malvina has found a project of her own. Look at this. She is coming through here like a crazy gal.
Crazy. So, remember when I was showing how disgusting this was and I tried...
Look at that.
Yeah. So I have tried to scrub this with so many different types of things, and I could not get it out. So
that right there is a bald, sweaty head, folks.
yeah, whoever's bald, sweaty head this was.
Sorry, Jason.
Jason! Pissed! So we are going to not reupholster it yet. That may be the last resort. But right now I'm just trying to take all these staples out because I am going to try to wash it. I'll try to put some good, what is it called? Spray. I'll spray it down with some good stain remover. And I'm really hoping it comes out in the wash. And if this one goes good, then we'll try the other one because the other one is just as bad. I may end up just doing both of them tonight. What do you think?
She's on a roll.
Yeah, we are on a roll. I hope it just doesn't shrink in the wash.
What she's using right here, folks, is a chisel. Not its intended use, but it is working. We tried using a flathead screwdriver and it just wasn't quite sharp enough to get under there. So she's doing a great job just chiseling away at this project little by little. Just
loosening them up so then Connor can take the...
And then I'm coming behind with some needle nose pliers and prying them out of there. And, oh my gosh, she's an animal. Look at her.
It's a competition. Who can get the most?
She's winning.
No, he always wins. Ow!
She's putting her whole body on the line for this one, folks.
That's like how
What I
always do. I put my whole heart and soul and everything into it, and he just nonchalant just comes into something I love and then just wins without even trying.
All about having the right tools for the job.
Pretty sure I'm using a chisel.
Exactly, that's why I gave her the chisel. I like the
pretty good.
Yeah, the chisel was a great tool for the job. It's falling
I win
right now. Here's the reveal. She's gonna tear off the long-awaited cushion cover.
What's underneath here?
That's the reveal. Ooh, cushion.
Goodbye, stain.
Another staple hidden.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Still not quite the winner. I might steal this one from you.
Thanks everyone for following along. And if you're like us and want to view our episodes without advertisement, check out Alivo Sailing on Patreon. You have the option to join our community who enjoys ad-free content and other ways of connecting with us. Once you're on Patreon, you can click memberships where it'll take you to the 3 tiers we offer. We offer the Happy Hour Mate, the Weekend Cruiser, and also the Live Aboard. This is a brand new addition we started to explore, so give us a holler if there are features you would like to see, and let's grow this Alivo community. Thanks, y'all. Now go seize the day.